You're using AI in marketing, and so is every other marketer that we know. The real question is, can your audience tell the difference? And can that difference quietly cost you engagement, trust, or deals that you'll never know that you lost? I'm Anusha, and this is the 360-degree Marketing Show. My guest today is Vahbiz Cooper. Vahbiz Cooper leads influencer marketing and employee advocacy at Demandbase. She spent about 5 years running campaigns both ways, AI end-to-end, human with AI in the background, and every version in between. She also has the numbers to tell you which one actually lands. We got into conversations like the unicorn piñata that blew up on LinkedIn, a campaign that did not actually see any wins in the present, but came back a little bit more stronger than it probably would have in the present. A prediction about where AI trust is headed that I haven't stopped thinking about, and also the one thing she will not let AI touch in her work. If you've been trying to figure out where AI is helping you in your marketing and where it has been hurting your marketing, this episode's for you. Here's Vahbiz. Vahbiz, tell me about what you do, and also tell me about how you got to do that.
So I started working as a, I wouldn't say an intern, but more or less like an intern in HR initially when it all started out. And, I was doing a lot of things around like competency mapping and all of that. Turned out that wasn't me. I hated every bit of it. And I went into like forensics, business forensics. Over there, like had like a very, very, very good mentor who actually guided me to do my MBA. And at that point of time, digital marketing was just like a fancy word. Everybody had like these terminologies about, oh, the golden triangle of Google and all of that. I was super fascinated. Like I was young, so I was super fascinated by all of that, which led me to make like an absolute career switch. So from business forensic, I went into digital marketing, and that is how the whole journey got started. And after my MBA, I was working for an oil and gas company. I somehow always have worked in B2B. I hated every bit of it. I did not want to go into B2B. I was a very B2C gal sort of a thing. And I wanted to like do everything that was cool and like fun and nothing boring at all. Now I don't think it's boring, but of course at that point of time I was like, oh, what am I doing? And later on, COVID hit, and I was looking for something different, something more exciting, something not oil and gas, which is when I came to know about Demandbase. Somebody that hired me was an alumni. We studied in the same university. And then the rest is history, basically. So currently at Demandbase, I lead the influencer marketing efforts. I play a huge part in social. I used to lead the social first. I don't lead it anymore. I'm just like a supporting factor. I also lead like employee advocacy at Demandbase, and I do a lot of other smaller projects, like writing blogs or helping, run certain AI tools that uh, are like probably in the works, or we're testing around, like everything that is new and that requires a little bit of extra efforts and attention is something that I put my hands in. And and that's the main reason why I don't find B2B boring anymore, because I'm like, oh, this is new. Oh, this is new. Oh, this is new. So I think that keeps it super exciting. I was also like, when I joined Demandbase initially, I was also leading, the entire post production of our podcast over there. But then, like I grew out of it. I got into like a different role. So whenever somebody invites me for a podcast, or whenever I go into a podcast, I feel like, thank God I did what I did, because I realized the amount of crazy work that goes behind it. Like, it's not just like, oh, audio editing. Oh, like Riverside already gives you like half of the work done. No, it doesn't. It's a great tool, no doubt, but there's much, much, much more that goes behind the scenes. And I think that also like helped me respect the work. Yeah, I mean, you only see the glorious picture that comes out. Regardless of if it's a podcast, like even if it's a design, because I was in designing as well for a little bit, and I had to like learn Illustrator and Photoshop, and I was like, no. Initially, I was like, what am I doing? But then it grew on me. Um, so yeah, I feel like it was it was necessary for me because that helped me to like respect the things that go on behind the scenes, and not just like, oh, this is like, I don't like this image, or I don't like that, or like I stopped looking for faults in the whole thing. It was more like, oh, like this person's taking efforts. It took tons of approvals, I'm sure. Um, so yeah, like I shouldn't be like nitpicky and things like that. So 5 years now at Demandbase, and I've grown as a person, grown like professionally, personally, and yeah, marketing's felt home.
That's an awesome trajectory. Like you've taken multiple detours and then gotten to where you are. Is there like a part of the story that you haven't like told everybody? Because I feel like whenever we're asked to introduce ourselves, we kind of have the script running in our head, like, hey, touch all these points and introduce yourself this way. But then it's like, oh, I should have said that too. It's not relevant, but it would have been interesting for this person to know. Is there anything that you can think of?
At the moment, I'm a new mom to like a 9-month-old. So
See,
I
that's the kind of detail that we need.
yeah. So I feel like it's been a crazy ride. Personally, everything's new, and once I joined back from my maternity, my boss was gone. My CMO was gone. So it was beautiful, but definitely challenging when you're dealing with everything new at home and everything new at work as well. So I felt like I don't know my life anymore. But it settled down, I guess, eventually. Like now that I say it loud, I'm like, okay, it wasn't all that bad. But yeah, when everything was happening and like in the whole thing, um, I feel like it was insane, and I do not wish that on anybody. I don't.
You're kind of scaring me here, but
No, I mean, it's beautiful if at least one aspect of your life is a little bit stable, because everything was new when I came back from my maternity, which thankfully in India we get 6 months. Um, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know the person I was working for. She's amazing. Like she made this so much smoother. Like shout out to her. But yeah, I didn't. My team was different. My work was different. Um, and I had to like I did everything before I went to maternity. Like there was nothing like on anybody's plate, left on anybody's plate. Um, but yeah, like to pick up where you've left off versus what the reality is on that day was a different picture altogether. So everything was new, everything at home and at work. So it's nothing scary as such, like now in hindsight. But yeah, at that point of time, I really, really wish that at least there was one aspect that was stable. And obviously, I would wish that for the job, because I can't wish nothing for the baby to be stable. So yeah.
do you think like when in moments like this, when we go back to job, there has to be like, a sort of this mindset of like, this is the problem that I want to solve. Therefore, whatever shape it takes, I would be fine with it. Did you have that kind of a mindset, or was it something else that was anchoring you back into the role that you were doing?
I just went with the flow. Like I had nothing in my mind, because when I joined back, my baby was 6 months old, and I was 6 months old too. So I just went with the flow. I really appreciated the fact that I didn't have to make like too many decisions, because I was already making too many decisions at home. So my manager was extremely supportive, and I think, why should I hide it? Like, I think I took almost a month to like settle down in the whole thing, and like settle down in knowing what time works best for me, what time works best for my baby, and it's different every day. So I respected that flexibility and the fact that I didn't have to make like extreme crucial decisions for like important projects. She took care of that, and I think that is what kept me sane a little bit. Yeah.
Totally. I feel like having supportive people around you who really understand what you're going through is so important. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad you had that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
You do influencer marketing, right? So obviously, this is not just a life thing where even with influencer marketing, you have to deal with people who change their minds all the time. The programs change, so many things shift. Like, has this been a learning for you in that way? Has this helped
Yeah,
you?
definitely, definitely. Because when I started it, again, I had a great manager at that point of time. Justin, if you know him, Justin Levy, amazing guy. Um, and I remember like complaining to him. I'm like, this guy just said yes to us, like for like X amount of dollars. Like, why is he asking more? Or like, there have been instances where B2B is a small world. So there have been instances where, we've not given like monetary benefit to like an influencer because he or she was like a small influencer. We've agreed on like swag and things like that, or like giving them a shout out on our website. And then when he or she talks to like other influencers, it was like, you got paid. So then like when they come back to us, they expect, the contract to be changed. And initially I used to be like really upset about this because, I had to like redo the whole contract, and like legal had to get involved again. And it was really annoying. Um, and then I just realized that, what, if I was on the opposite side, I would probably be doing the same thing. I would want to get like paid monetary. And eventually I felt like talking to the person, like actually, going into what is happening on that side of the screen helped me understand why I wanted to hold certain relationships like close beyond like demand-based influencer. And then we started getting talking about like their personal lives, or like any professional help that I needed or they needed. And some of these relationships have gone like beyond, oh, you were in my list, or oh, like, we paid you $10,000 for the entire project, or you got this fancy gift from us. And I was like really, really, really happy that I actually took the time to like sit down and like talk. Because there was this one influencer, and we were like, we really wanted him, and every single post of his or video of his was delayed all the time. It was like kind of annoying. And then like I took like a breath, and I said, took a step back, and I was like, hey, you know what, let's chat. He thankfully he willingly agreed. And that's when I came to know, like, there's so much going on in his like personal life, and he was doing all of these things to like, rebuild the whole thing and like get extra monetary help for his family and things like that. And we made it work. We were like, okay, it's fine, like you can focus on that now. We're happy to release the payment in, in advance. But this is all that this is the delay that we can allow. We can't allow a delay beyond that. And he never delayed after that, not once. Did he delay any of our asks. And he actually took the time to like sit down with our product team and understand it. And it was not just like a one-off, like, okay, hey, demand base, blah blah blah, cool product. And his video, like, because he sat down with the product team, obviously he had a better understanding. His video went so viral, that he started, and then he got like confidence, of course, and he started a podcast of his own later on, which we helped him like, hey, set it up and things like that. So that is how like a relationship flourished, and he runs a beautiful podcast now. And if I'm not mistaken, he still uses the same resources for his podcast that we had suggested him. So, yeah,
Wow. Goes to
yeah,
show that, building relationships, even though people always say that, it's not really the case. It's like, oh, we're building relationships, but it's really transactional. But then when you get to know the person and really go into the roots of what's happening, it
yeah,
just makes it much more stronger.
yeah.
In this like age where we have AI doing everything, and I'm jumping straight into it, I would love to understand, when you're building these programs, do you use AI to build these programs? Is there anything that AI
Yes,
helps you with?
I use AI because my creativity on some days is amazing. On some other days, I've used it to my maximum to get my kid to eat something. Oh, so AI helps definitely. I use AI all
That's
the
interesting.
time.
Please expand on that. What are you doing with your kid?
No, I mean, I have sang the same song multiple times. I have made up stories. Cinderella is tired, and all the animals in the jungle are tired, and Nemo has drowned because I
Yeah,
have
he's
made up
gone.
so many stories. So yeah, and I eventually started using AI to make like new stories. So I use Gemini or Cloud or Claude or however that's how they pronounce that. Some people say E is silent, so Claude or Chat GPT. The Limelight is another great tool that I wish we had like more budget to invest in. Um, it just makes life super easy for people who are doing influencer marketing. But yeah, like if I have to run a campaign and I'm like, what do I do? I just like put in my thoughts in any of these and they give us amazing answers. Sometimes I feel like ChatGPT gives me like the same old boring things. I find Gemini a little bit more creative at times. But yeah, whatever gets the work done that day.
So you use it mainly for like ideation and not starting things from a blank page.
Yeah, because we've started things from a blank page. Some of them have succeeded. Some of them was like, but yeah, I feel like like we're human, and when a project comes on your plate, there's only so much thinking capacity that you have at that point of time. Of course, you like brainstorm tons of ideas, but sometimes I feel like that happens to me. I feel like most of those ideas are like repetitive, more or less, like they're just like the same thing, just in a different way. So especially when that happens, I rely on AI to like break through like the thought process. And again, sometimes you're like tired when you're thinking, or you're hungry, or you just haven't had a great day, so you don't know like, oh, what do I do now? Like I am done, my thinking capacity is at maximum, I cannot think what to do. Or sometimes you're just like stuck. Sometimes another competitor, or even not a competitor, has already done a similar campaign, and you're just like, what do I do now? So yeah, those are the instances that are like super helpful for me, especially when I just dive into AI and I'm like, hey, what do you think? It works so far.
Do you find that to be super biased when it's like, I feel like sometimes it's really supportive and it's like, hey, you should really do this. You can launch a rocket. I'm like, I can't. I didn't study for that. But do you find that instances?
Oh, yeah, yeah. It sometimes I feel like it's giving me what I've exactly told it to give. Uh, but like sometimes inside me, I'm like, yeah, can you give me like something different? Like I know this, and I'm like telling you this because I know it, but I want something different, but I still want it like related to this, but not like this. So yeah, definitely. I think that mostly happens when I'm trying to like generate captions for like employee advocacy things. I'm like, oh, I know you're saying like the same thing, but can you like say it better? Like this, but not this. So yeah, I do face that. Not so much when it comes to like idea creations, but yeah, definitely when it's like captions and like, maybe if I just want like to make a quick design for like my own personal LinkedIn posts, I feel like, yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I've been through that. It's annoying sometimes. You talked about this influencer that you worked with who like actually got to know your product, worked with the engineers and really like put his mind into it. When things like this happen and they go viral, it's not like it happens every single day and they don't, make a big dent on your dashboard. Would you say that you've had multiple instances like this, or would you say it's like a one off, once in a blue moon this happens?
I would say three like that in my 5 year journey. Well, 5 years at Demandbase, but like influencer marketing was a 4 year journey. I wasn't doing influencer marketing for the first year, but yeah, three like that. On an average, like once a year, I have felt like, oh wow, I am a genius to get this campaign up and running. Among those three, till date, my personal favorite and something that broke the internet was this, and this wasn't my idea, it was my manager's idea. I was just you know behind the scenes girl at that point of time. Was We had just launched an ad cloud, the demand-based ad cloud, and we sent out unicorns, to I think it was around 65 influencers at that point of time. Yeah, saying that demand base has like a unicorn, the unicorn ad cloud, and it was like a unicorn piñata. And we told them like, break it down, and if you post a video of you breaking it down, you're gonna
I've
get,
seen, I've
yeah,
seen this.
you're gonna get like Grove cookies. I think we sent them Grove cookies if they did that. And oh my god, like I was like, hey, I want a piñata. Like, why am I staying here? Like, oh, I don't care. Send me one to India. So yeah, that just broke every single record that I knew or I had personally set for like myself or that my manager had set for the team. And that was, I think, the most fun campaign that I have personally been a part of. And uh, yeah, and that is like the benchmark I still hold myself against, although that it wasn't my idea. It was just something that I was, working day and night towards. I feel like that was something that actually was the turning point in my career. I was like, yeah, this is something that I would like to do, like not showcase B2B as something that is boring, or, like, okay, my company does this, my company does that. Like, yeah, we know what your company does, Susan. But yeah, uh, I think that is something that I will probably hold dear to my heart as long as working for influencer marketing.
Like this whole campaign seems so genuine, right? Because when you send it to someone, they're actually getting excited about, breaking the pinata and they're really like involved in it and they enjoy it and they post about it. So it's like a genuine thread of
Yeah.
campaign.
Yeah.
Would you like say, sometimes I've seen people online use AI to like draft content and post it and everything is like from start to finish, everything is done by AI, or at
Yeah.
least it's directing you to do that. But it's not wrong. Like I'm not against that, but I would like to get your take on, have you done that and have you like seen a difference if you have done that between like campaigns like this and also campaigns where AI is really assisted, let's say like 80% of the, strategy.
Yeah. Women in Sales is a campaign that we used to do every year. 4 years. We've done it for 4 years. 4 years, 3 years, 3 years, I think. Yeah, and when I took the lead in influencer marketing, I have used AI like end to end to write the Women in Sales blog. What one thing that I feel that was different was I would go back and I would like read what AI has thrown back. Like, why should you follow Anusha? And I would like put in the LinkedIn, and maybe I also add like the about sections where if at all the person's written something. And sometimes I feel like chat gdp has thrown absolute rubbish, and I'm like, no, this is not what she does, um so I feel like sometimes you have to like go back and like read what AI is telling you. Usually it's like, okay, blah blah blah, okay, you just like skim through it and post it. And there have been even I think this was happening in, if I'm not wrong, it was a Times of India ad or something, where somebody used chat gdp and it was posted like with the ending thing, and I was like, how did this get past? So you have to read
Yeah.
what AI tells you. But yeah, I have used chat gdp end to end to write that blog and all of that. The reason, I personally believe that the reason why those campaigns was still a super success was when I go and I tell this person like, hey, you are in our list, this is your image and things like that. I have tried to personalize as much as I could in like the email draft or things like that. And the first, it's 100 people, so usually I'm just like copy pasting majority of the email. But when the person posts their quote card online, I never go back and be like, oh, thank you, this is your gift link. I'm like, oh my God, like this is amazing. Like, thank you for posting it. I'm actually typing things. That is when I do not use AI. And I keep, like, when I'm monitoring, I keep like an Excel, because I work easier. I feel like Excel's a little easy when it comes to campaigns like that. I ensure that I have interacted not just via a like, but also a comment to every single post that has gone out by the particular person, whether it's he or she, I mean, she in this case, has tagged me or has only tagged Demandbase. It doesn't matter. Like, I am going there and I'm giving you a shout out because you actually did something fantastic. That is the reason why you're on this list in the first place. Of course, you have been nominated by someone. Like, I totally understand, and this has happened to us where women have come back and be like, oh, like, I wasn't in the list. I know that they were deserving, but people didn't nominate them for whatever reason. So yeah, that happened, which was something I feel like I solved when I did like the personal list at Demandbase. But yeah, you have to go back to them and show that there's still a human behind this whole thing, and it's not just you know talking to a screen, or like it's, of course it's good, like, oh, you're nominated, like it's a big thing and you get something in your mailbox, absolutely fine, and it gives you a feel good factor, definitely. But that doesn't build a relationship, and that feel good factor is temporary. You might feel like, okay, yeah, Demandbase did that for me, but that is not going to help you build your pipeline, or build your network, or grow you as a person. Like, I've had like this one person, she has also done so great in her career, and she was highlighted in our list, and I've just like learned so much from her. She's so cute and excellent, and yeah, I've learned a lot from her and her career, and that was only solely because we just got talking. That's all. Like, hey, this is a gift, like, where do I send it, what do I do, how do I help you get it? Yeah, and those were like casual conversations on LinkedIn. It wasn't like, hey, this is your gift, thank you for posting, regards, Demandbase. Yeah. So you still have to um add that human touch somewhere in the whole process. So yeah, I think that's what's going to make the difference.
Yeah, I feel like if you just throw them that gift card and be like, great, they get great credentials, they can post it on LinkedIn, but then it's like, but I don't feel validated. Like, I don't feel like someone actually saw what I did. And
Yeah.
that really does make a difference. And where we are headed with AI, it's kind of like what really like raises two of my brows. Like, okay, what are we actually going to do about this when it's just AI doing everything? And that's a conversation most people are having. Have you like seen any difference when it's like completely AI, even with a little bit of human editing, versus like completely human? When we talked about that influencer who did everything on their own, like actually went and invested time and understood the product, versus like, let's say that like this example where 80% or 70% AI is assisted. Has there been a difference in terms of how the audience have reacted to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like initially when Chat GDP was like out there, people really didn't know if it was a person or it was Chat GDP. But I mean, again, human brain has so much capacity. Now, if you read, you there's a good chance, a very good chance that you would just know that this is not the person, but the machine doing the work. So obviously, because when you're writing a text post, when it's like a human writing it, unless they're like Shakespeare or some really genius in the English language, you will observe that it's probably wouldn't have like commas in the right place, or it would just be a different feel. Like it would just feel like a conversation. They wouldn't have like random m dashes going around the place. But when it is AI written, I have also seen that the engagement is a little low. Even in my posts, where some of them I have used like Chat GDP to write the entire caption for me. I didn't feel like writing one for myself. So I've also seen that, yep, the engagement was a little lower in those posts. And like it was so perfect. Like the commas were there, and the semicolons, and the adjectives and all of that was there. But what was missing was what I really wanted to say in that. So I feel like it's fine to use any AI tool, um, but you can add like maybe a sentence or two of your own into the whole thing. You can have like five sentences, and you can add like the sixth or the seventh one of your own, like in there somewhere, just so that you're still being like realistic, and it feels like, okay, I have read this thing, I know what this thing is talking about, and I still have something to contribute uh to, like whether it is an educational post or it is just something about like my day or anything. I feel like you have to still put in your 2 cents into the whole thing to like make it yours, otherwise it just belongs to Chat GDP at the end of the day.
Yeah, so you're saying like they can actually feel the difference, and that does affect how engagement or anything, whatever goal you wanted to achieve, it does affect that.
Yeah, yeah, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
You'll just read and you'll know, like, okay.
Has anyone come up to you and be like, I know that's AI, therefore I don't trust you? Has any form of that interaction ever happened?
Not yet. But yeah, we have, like I said, we have been like called out in things like, oh, this is not correct, and then we go back and we're like, oh yeah, this is not correct. So hasn't really like happened personally on my posting, like, oh, I know this is AI and I don't trust you.
Awesome. Like when you're doing these influencer programs, has there ever been a time where you did not expect a program to perform that well, and it's like really blowing up in some sense? What is like the immediate thought that you have? Like what would you check to see, wait, why is this working? Is it this or is it that? What is that one instinct that you will get?
I sometimes feel it's the people. It's like, uh, you know, the people that have given me probably like some fantastic answers, because I saw that happening with a little bit happening like that with our AI blog, the recent one. And I was kind of like, wow, when I was like writing it and correcting it and like using AI to like actually frame it down, I was like, okay, like I'm learning a lot of things. Wow, this is so cool, I didn't know about this. But when it like actually was getting a little bit viral on LinkedIn, and it was done, like the project was done, the campaign was done. So then when I went back and I was like reading some of it, I was actually learning more this time, because at that point of time I also had like editing to do, and like I was ensuring that that what I was writing, like the quote that I was like rephrasing to fit in the blog, was actually said by this person, and not, I'm not adding somebody else's name. So I feel like there was already so much going on. But when I was reading it the second time, I was like, oh my God, yeah, like, wow, this is so amazing. So I feel like it's the people that have made the campaign. And I feel that every time, actually. it's be it like women in sales or like our AI campaign or like our sales or our AE's campaign. I always feel like if the people somewhere have the confidence in us, like, okay, you know what, Demandbase is giving me a shout out, and because they are a good company and like a name in the market, is why I need to repost this, or like is why I need to share my thoughts with this Demandbase girl. I feel that is one thing that is special to me in every campaign, because without their thoughts and actually their work, where do we really stand? Like, I can use my company page or my page, or like my employees can, not my employees, like demand-based employees can, like, uh, you know, write every day on their LinkedIn's about how amazing demand-based is, but nobody's going to listen to us uh, if there is nobody that is using a product, or not using a product, but somebody out there actually validating, like, yeah, they are doing a good job, like they are actually in the market for a reason, or I don't know much about demand base, but I trust this person or this person, and that is the reason why I am gonna probably just jump on a demo call. I might buy the product or not, but I'm willing to still jump on a demo call. So I think I think that is the reason why most of our campaigns work.
Yeah. And so we're talking about, measuring what has worked. Is it like the human? Is it that the trust is happening here? What exactly is it? But when you look at like this is a good measurement to see if what I just started put in motion actually worked. Like let's say that you start a program and you're trying to see the numbers and you're like, this is the one thing that I need to see working. If I see this number going up, it means it's actually working. What would that be for you?
So any form of measurement in influencer marketing is so tricky. So again, it depends on what we want to do with the campaign. So we have had campaigns where they were just about advertising our product, like the unicorn one. We didn't have a goal of, oh, we need these many people to come into the demo or this or that. It was like, we just want to tell people that we have launched the ad cloud. It was just branding basically. So at that point of time and in those campaigns, it was more like how many likes we are getting, how many people are like talking about it, what sort of comments are happening on these posts. Like, most of them were like, oh wow, yay, yay, yay. But we saw like a few of them actually wanting to know about the product, or they were like, oh, I would love to get a unicorn piñata as well, and I'm so excited to like know more about what this product is all about. We've had like campaigns like women in sales, where we just our only goal in those campaigns were to give shout outs to people that were actually doing something in sales, and make both demand based and women in sales community go viral. So at that point of time, we were just seeing like how many people have shared these posts, or how many companies have reshared the post of those women who were doing it. I think when we are having influencers that are not a part of the list, is when we give them like UTM links, is when actually the tracking per se happens. We had a campaign that did not go that great, where one of our CMOs and CSO had written like a book, and we wanted that book to like do well and people to buy the book. That was the goal of the campaign. Yeah, that was, I think, one of the worst campaigns that, performance wise, that I have seen, because like not many people mentioned about it. They weren't like interested in getting like the free copy, or they were like, no, it's not something that I'm looking at. So again, like at that point of times, you just have to like take it, because it's not going to perform well, and probably try and evaluate like where you went wrong. Sometimes it's not even your fault. Sometimes it's just like the market is bad and people don't have the budget to like spend on things. And sometimes it's just that it is very much your fault that probably you haven't selected the correct people that would actually want to read the book, or like, get into the demo pipeline, um, and things like that. And sometimes it's just like, I don't know whether I should say good luck or bad luck, because sometimes campaigns don't perform, and they've actually turned out to be like, oh, thank God that this campaign didn't perform, because we weren't as prepared as we thought we were. But yeah, like sometimes it's just a silver lining in the whole B2B world. Yeah. We've
Yeah.
also had like, this thing has happened quite a few times now, where this person was there on our list. They had nothing to do with demand base. They had no budget, nothing. They were just like, oh, thank you, and they walked off. And a couple of years, or like a year later, they have like emailed back saying like, hey, I was a part of this campaign. We didn't have the budget at that point of time, or like whatever, like we weren't really interested at that point of time, but now I am in like XYZ company, and I would really like to like learn more about demand base. Or, hey, you know what, I know that you guys are like having a certification, like is there any way that I can be a part of that? Or like, are you guys running any beta testing that I can be a part of? So we have had like people like come back to us as well, and then end up purchasing the product. I think, did they purchase? I feel like they did. I think around 4 to 5 people did end up purchasing the product. So they were never tracked at that point of time in the campaign, but they came back to us. So it was a late win, but I'm still going to take it as a win.
Oh yeah, that's kind of it, right? Like most people talk about campaigns and wins like, oh, it's happening this quarter because we ran it this time, but then they just got educated. They might come back maybe years later, and that's still a win because we got our money back for whatever we've invested.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Interesting. You also talked about employee advocacy. From your experience and also watching your peers who are also running employee advocacy programs, do you feel like these employees actually like want to do these things, like talk about their companies, or do you feel like, oh, I just have to comply because it's what I'm expected to do?
Most of them honestly do not have the time, but I wouldn't say it's all of them. We have had I think around 7, if I can call employees, yeah, around 7, excuse me, who actually wanted to, grow their LinkedIn, who actually wanted to, portray themselves as a leader over there, or post like thought leadership content. I feel like employee advocacy is something that starts at the top. I know that this is a debatable sentence, but yeah, it definitely starts at the top. And I am very, very, very grateful that I've always been lucky in that sense. Like our leadership has always been like super active on social. They have like encouraged all of our employees, like, posting about it. They've also spoken about this in like our company all hands. So it's never like, oh, what do I post, or like what's happening, I don't know. They've been very actively posting on their LinkedIns. So yeah, that is something that we've had happening, and they have been super, super, super actively involved in everything. I feel when it comes to like employee advocacy, I've never had problem with the leadership over there, and seeing them is what motivates all the others that are below to actually take lead, whether they're just doing it out of compliance, or they're just like, okay, I need to get over with this. What has really, really, really worked is gamifying the whole thing. We use Octopost at Demandbase over here. We used to use Sprout Social. Now we use Octopost. I always prefer Octopost over Sprout Social. So we have like this leaderboard thing, where if anybody posts, they get like points, and the more the points collected, the more your name is going to be highlighted on the leaderboard. So top 5 people get rewarded, which motivates the others. They're like, oh yeah, they're getting rewarded, like I want to get rewarded. So that is one aspect that has worked really well when it comes to like our employee advocacy programs. The other thing that has worked extremely well is we select, we don't like select, but like we ask, like, hey, are you interested, sort of a thing. People, 5 people in a particular month, and they are the brand ambassadors for that month. So we give them a shout out. We're like, oh yay, these 5 people are like the brand ambassadors for the month, and they also get goodies. So it's like 10 people at any which way is getting goodies. So that also kind of acts like a motivator, like, hey, are you interested in, being the brand ambassador for the next month? Some months you get like all the 5 seats are taken, and some months you really have to like be a little pushy and like ping people like, hey, are you interested? And like, get the ball rolling. But yeah, that these are the two things that have worked like extremely well when it comes to employee advocacy. I feel like once we also made the shift to Octopost, it gave us a little upper hand, because I feel like everybody was a little more motivated because they had an AI option where all the posts do not look the same, and they also have this thing where they select like the correct time for you to post. So once the people kind of started seeing a little bit engagement going on their LinkedIn, they were like, oh yeah, somebody's liking, somebody's reading, and of course that feels good. So yeah, that also kind of worked, and the rest we just have to be like, hey, post please. Yeah.
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 Kind of, I interviewed for an employer branding role. I remember, I was preparing for that interview and I was constantly thinking about, oh my God, I have to ask people to like talk about our brand, but I also have to like focus on how I want the brand to look. And
Yeah.
I was like, do I really want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this? It is a tough process. A lot of people feel like it's not, but it's like you can't force them, but you still want them to be excited about it. So it's a gray line. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people will just be like, there she slacks me again. So yeah. Yeah.
What have you noticed like with other companies when they do, employee advocacy? Like what do you see that inspires you, but also like it's a mistake that what these people are making? Have you like seen instances like that?
Not in terms of mistake, but sometimes I feel like, oh my God, that's such a beautiful like I know they haven't like written it, they've posted it, but I'm like, wow, that's like a beautiful caption, or like, wow, that's a really cool design, or hey, why don't I think of that? So sometimes I do come across like fun, like Chili Piper, for example, they have like really fun posts. So sometimes I feel like, oh my God, like that is so nice. But again, like, you have to see where you want to position your brand as well. Like, are you positioning for enterprise, mid market, things like that? So sometimes that gets tricky, and I feel like that's a beautiful post, but I know that this is not something that, as much as I would like to do, I would get kicked in my butt for doing it. So yeah.
That's so nice. Like you want to do something, you can't do it, but then you're like, yeah, but it also doesnn't make sense to do it. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I understand.
Yeah, them doing it. We used to do a little bit of crazy content a little while back, but then again, we like rebranded ourselves. So yeah, sometimes I miss doing that sometimes, but I'm also like, oh my God, like thank God we're not doing that anymore. Yeah, it just depends on the day. I'm like, oh my God, this is such a great idea. I wish I could do it. And sometimes I'm like, oh, thank God, I wouldn't have the mental capacity to think new all day long. So yeah.
It is such a hard task to do because I tried to do that with some of my pages and I was like, I just can't. I guess I'm not a funny person. Like, what do you want me to do? Sometimes I'm just serious. I want to talk about solving problems. So it is really difficult. And shout out to these social media managers and creators that are doing this. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
you should, for like funny content, you should check out Aiden. Some of Aiden's posts, like not some is the wrong word. Most of Aiden's posts are like really, really, really funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn on the notifications one for that because then it'll help
Oh
me
yeah,
feel better.
I'll send you his LinkedIn. He's
Okay.
funny.
Perfect. You were talking about how you've been in B2B forever, but you shifted into like really marketing a couple of years ago. So is there like something that you used to think about, okay, this is what B2B marketing is, but then 5 years, like fast forwarding, like that is not what B2B marketing is. This is what B2B marketing is. Like, have you had that?
Yeah. I felt like it was like companies selling to companies, and oh, they are like all these suited up people, you know, very like Starbucks coffee, Apple laptop. See, I had that stereotype in my mind until I realized most of them don't even like Starbucks, and Apple is just used for security purpose, and yeah, and it's not a company talking to a company or a logo talking to a logo. It is actual people talking to people, and there is a lot of trust involved. One thing that was a real, I wouldn't say shocker, but like for lack of better word, like shocker for me was it's not just one person making the decision, it's a ton of people making the decision, and from bottom to top. If an AE wants something, then he needs to like speak all the way to the top to like get it approved. Or if like the leadership wants to like, change certain things, it's like all the way to the bottom. So it's not just one person making the decision. Whereas in like B2C, that's not, so many people aren't like, I'm sure people are involved, but it's not this crazy. The involvement isn't that uh deep, or like it's not that difficult. It's like, oh yeah, we want this person to endorse our brand. Yeah, sure, go ahead. And then like it's more, I feel that it's more easier. I do not know what happens in B2C. But yeah, this is just like, oh my god, the grass is greener on the other side sort of a thing. But yeah, I feel like it's more extensive in B2B, like the entire decision making process.
Yeah, it is a lot of people that get involved in it. And it's like, oh, we got everything approved. And they're like, no, we actually changed something about the agreement. And it's like, okay, restart the whole thing again. It is so annoying.
Yeah, that happens
And
a lot.
I feel like B2B is also a very small world because everyone knows everyone. So you can't really afford to lose trust because everyone gets to know about it. It's like a group chat and everybody knows everything.
Yeah, 100%. That
Yeah,
definitely happens.
for sure. We've
Yeah.
talked about like what has happened in the last 5 years. Let's like go into the future. 5 years from now, what do you think this whole thing would become, especially with the rate that AI is actually accelerating? What do you see, just from your perspective?
Um, One thing I feel like AI is still not peaked, is what I personally feel. I feel like there are going to be more AI influencers that are going to come in B2B. I know they're still creeping in, but there's going to be a lot more coming in. Once that happens, I feel like people are going to start having like major trust issues, and they're going to want to go back to like Stone Age, and they want to talk to like a real person out there. Uh, that is something that I'm excited to see happening, because I want to see like what these AI influencers are gonna talk about, or like bring, or like how beautiful their skin is. But yeah, I'm like really excited to see the peak, definitely, because once that peaks, the drop is going to happen very, very, very fast. So I'm excited to see the drop. Yeah, but I'm already in the drop right now.
Right.
So I'm like trying to see what that brings, for sure.
Do you feel like the influencer programs they're running right now or employee advocacy ones, do you feel like they're actually increasing trust in buyers? Or do you think, sure, they're one of the reasons why it's happening? Or do you think, like, no, a lot of people have actually mentioned that they watched one of our influencers' videos or one of our employees' posts, and that is the reason they even came to have a conversation with us? Like, have you seen that on a major scale?
No, it's like it's a decent balance right now, I would say. Usually what happens is if sales post something, and like, their network sees it, and, they get talking, then that's how that conversation goes. But I feel like the best thing that comes out of these programs as of now is trust, especially in the influencer marketing ones, because it is, I know that they're talking to me, and they know that they're talking to me. They're not talking to like a bot that's like doing all the work. And I feel like not today, not tomorrow, but in the few years that's to come, that is the only thing that is going to help businesses run. There's nothing else that is going to help businesses run. If the person does not trust you, he's not going to invest in you or in your product or in any other offering that you have. If the person doesn't have budget, let's say, but they still trust you, they're going to keep you at the back of their mind, or they're going to, talk to you about like a discount or like just maybe a part of the service, not the whole service. But if they feel like, oh, I'm not going to get anything by investing even $1 in you, actually what happens is when they don't like you, that's when they actually talk more about you. When they like you, you're not exactly part of all conversations. But when they don't like you, you're definitely in the communities, in all of the Reddit posts, in LinkedIn chats, in private messengers. Yeah, that definitely is happening behind the scenes.
For sure. I've been the ear hearing all these things from a lot of people about so many vendors. I'm like, that is so sad. And also the worst part about this is they will never know this is happening because like you have dark funnel tracking now. I think Demandbase does that a little bit, right? Like you can track dark funnel.
Yeah, we can, but like again, it has its limitations. You can't
Exactly.
really go
Exactly.
in and be like, oh, exactly what it is. It definitely has limitations.
Exactly. Which is why like you can't really measure, like people say you can't measure happiness and stuff like that. I feel like that's the same thing for trust. You can't really tell why someone's not working with you. It doesn't necessarily have to be price points or that your competitor is better than you. It just so happens to be the person representing a company is just someone that they don't trust.
Yep.
I mean, that's basically us as humans. Once we don't trust someone, it's just like you can never go back. It takes, even if you do go back, it's like, do I really trust you 100%? Not really. I'm just waiting for you to,
Mess up. Yeah.
make the next mistake. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
100%.
When you look at the version of yourself that was not promoted to the role that you're right now, and the kind of impact you're having right now versus what you had then, which would you say is like making you the most proud of yourself?
Definitely this one. I feel like most of the times I have had people, vouching for me, supporting me, pushing me to do like good things. So most of the times I felt like super, super, super confident in myself. I think the only time I felt like I am not good enough was when I was in like the oil and gas company. I felt like, what am I doing here? The designs that I was making weren't used for social. Like the agency would still like step in and do everything. So I just felt like, why am I even here? But apart from that, I feel like no matter who my manager was or no matter who the leadership was, always had some or the other faith in what I had to offer. I feel like I don't know about the new leadership. Everything is very new for me to comment on right now. They might not like me tomorrow, or they might love me tomorrow. But every single time, I feel like because I was trusted is because I was trusted is why I performed at my best. There was no other way that I would have
Yeah.
delivered what I did.
Yeah, no, I've been in your shoes before. I also interviewed for an oil company, and I was like, even in the interview, I kept thinking to myself, like, what are you really going to do here? You're too creative, too analytical for this. They're not going to approve anything. I think it's the case. I work at an agency where I had kind of a similar issue because they would have a lot of compliance in it, and there's no creativity. You're basically asking me to write a legal document. That makes no sense to me because as a marketer, I have to be creative in some aspect, and that's just who I am. And that really like, yeah, that makes you feel, what am I doing? There's no value add.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you think about yourself 5 years from now, who's like doing a lot more than you are, what do you imagine her doing?
Oh my God.
Do you want to be doing more, or you're like, no, I'm good. I want to do less?
No. I want to be doing more for sure, like 100%. I just feel like probably I would want to create an AI B2B influencer software, or like, like something in that aspect. But again, I just want to create that for like my ease, not for like selling purposes, because I know that eventually it's in the long run, people are going to get fed up of it and like not want it. So I just wanted to like experiment the craze while it lasts, sort of a thing. So I think that is something that I want to see myself doing, like, oh wow, Um, yeah. Or
Expand
maybe
more on that. What does that look like? How is it going to help you?
maybe like an AI, like an AI influencer that is not an AI bot.
Okay.
Maybe he or she or they or it or whatever. Um, talk sense for starters.
Okay.
It's like, okay, like if you have this problem, then this is a solution, and not like, oh, do you want to talk to an agent? And you're just like continuously feeding her the same thing, and she's still
Yeah.
like, would you like to talk to an agent? I think probably somewhere in those aspects, like with B2B, like as a B2B AI B2B influencer, is something that I would want to like experiment in. But again, that's only to make like my life easier. Yeah. But if somebody has like any questions about our campaign, then she can answer that. I can just be in Bahamas having my mocktails, talk to her. She'll take care of you.
Looks just like you, so it's actually me, just a clone.
Yeah, or maybe she doesn't. Maybe I can
She
like
doesn't
make
look like
her.
you.
Yeah,
What do
yeah.
you
Maybe I
think would
can.
happen to like trust when? Would you like disclose it's AI? If not, then what do you think would happen to trust in that aspect?
I feel like there's still as of now, as of today, I still feel like there's a long way to go until people are going to be like, this is enough. I've had like enough of this. So until then, I feel like everybody is gonna, sail in the same boat and have lot of fun. Because you know, like our human mind, when we think about AI, we only think to that much. But there are like greater mind. There are like Sheldon Coopers sitting out there actually making the work. So we don't know. What if they actually make a model that everybody ends up trusting? That's going to be so scary. But yeah, what if that does happen?
It's gonna know all of our secrets, and that's gonna be very scary.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be
That's
like
what.
this one journalist that has all the information about the world and has so much power. That's too much
Yeah,
power.
yeah, yeah. What if she becomes real? Like you never know. You never know in this day and age. Like what exactly the future is going to look like. We don't really see with like horse blinkers, but there's only so much that meets the human eye at that point of time, at this point of time, so we don't know what's going to happen at that point of time.
I found something very interesting on Instagram recently. There are like these fruits that are talking. Like fruits are
Oh,
actually having conversations. Like it's an AI, but it's talking to each other. There's a lot of skits around that. And I saw humans who are literally dressing up as these fruits. They're doing exactly what the AI fruits are doing. I was like, there's no way AI is replacing anybody because look at what these people are doing. They're literally making fun of what an AI has done. And they're being
yeah,
so creative about it. They literally have like banana apple
yeah,
cut out with colors. And that is so creative. No AI could ever do something like this.
yeah. Ultimately, it's you want you like humans. We're like social beings. Like you can't talk to a computer forever. You can't. You want like the human feel, touch, things like that. Like I have seen this shift even happen in me. Like I was so happy with like online shopping. Like things would come to my house. I would like wear it. I keep most of the things, and something that doesn't fit me, I return it. But like nowadays, I'm like, I do not want to do that. Like I actually want to go to the mall. I actually want to see 10 more other things. I want to like, feel the thing, like touch the thing, like, you know, like put my senses to play, versus just like sitting here and like, okay, yeah, this jacket looks cool. This looks cool. Even with like our daily, produce that comes home. Blinkit was something that was so convenient. It still is. I still use it for sure.
Yeah.
But I prefer to like go to the grocery store, like actually see, oh my god, this tomato looks really good, and
Yeah.
add it to the basket versus just accept what is at my doorstep.
Yeah. Where do
Yeah.
you think all of this is like heading? All this craziness about AI. People are talking about trust. People are doing, a lot of ads, spending money. There's just a whole lot of conversation happening. Where do you feel like when you put them all together, like I feel like this is what's gonna happen. What would that one prediction be?
I feel like it's gonna last for a long time, and people are gonna, have fun with it, experiment with it, even trust it till a certain extent for sure. Believe it to be real. But once that, that phase of exhaustion comes in, because you are going to get exhausted at one point of time, just doing the same monotonous thing, because AI is not going to give you anything interesting. You are not going to have, any learnings per se from an AI. Like, you will learn from a human because the human is capable of making mistakes. AI isn't capable as of now for making mistakes. So when the human is going to start getting like, thirsty again for like actual real life experiences, is when all of this is going to go down the drain. And I might not be alive when that happens, but it is definitely going to happen.
So you're betting like next 50 years, 60 years, it's going to be
maybe
there.
maybe more, maybe much more than the next 50, 60 years. Probably the exhaustion will start a little bit after the next 50, 60 years. But yeah, we don't know what the next, and I don't mean like, when I say next generation, I don't mean like my son, I mean his son, or like his son's son is gonna do with it. What if we have more technology that we don't have? We have like no clue about. Like, my if I would tell my grandma, like, they're making flying cars, she would laugh at me. She would just be like, "Are you daydreaming again? Did you take your medicine?" Like, she would tell that to me. So we don't
Yeah.
know what these people are gonna invent. As of now, as of like today, this is what I see happening. If there is no human touch, there is nothing that is going to work. We don't know what sort of wiring these guys are going to come with.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's going to be a weird future. Maybe
Yeah,
even I won't be alive to see it, but anyways.
yeah. I'm pretty sure we won't. Yeah.
I don't know if that's like making me feel better about myself, or it's like it's not comforting.
Oh, definitely better. Definitely better.
Is there anything that you want to talk about that I didn't ask you?
I just feel like, be it like AI or not AI, like my personal closing thoughts or whatever would be, whatever you're doing with AI or without AI, marketing or not, you need to have fun in doing that. And you should never, never be scared of experimenting. Of course, you need like budget and approvals and all that, but like keeping the fixed things aside, like removing all, once those aspects are removed, like you shouldn't be afraid to experiment with things, because you never know how that's going to turn out to be. So go right in, even sometimes, even if you feel like you're wrong, but you're not like 100% sure. There's like still a part of you that is saying like, no, I want to give this a shot, I want to try this. Go right in, go right in, because tomorrow you might wake up and feel like, I could have taken that risk, I could have done that, and I didn't. And you would rather fail and know the outcome than just like sit there and be like, oh my
What
god.
if I had? Yeah, that
Yeah.
is that is mental torture to like wonder what if I had, because you could have, you just didn't do it.
Yep. So have fun, like it's okay to fail. Like, I failed, you can fail too, but yeah, you have to do it for sure.
100%. Really appreciate you saying that. I think a lot of people need to hear that, especially because a lot of folks are actually scared that AI is going to literally change their life. And it is going to in more good ways as well. We just need to realize that.
Yeah, if you do not know AI, if you're going to be like rigid about learning it, there's nothing that anybody can offer you for like your survival. But like, yeah, do it scared, do it happy, do it when you're uncertain. You have I just feel like what I'm trying to say is, don't feel stuck. It's like, yeah, if you don't know. Oh, one other thing I would say, because I used to do that, and I feel like people shouldn't, is don't be afraid to like ask questions, ask a lot of questions, bug the hell out of all the people that you can, because that is the only way that you're going to learn. Only way. So don't be like, oh my god, if I ask this, like, and I feel like, as women, we kind of do feel that sometimes. We get that. It's like, oh my god, this guy's gonna think that I'm an absolute idiot. ask. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because you learn something. So you're technically not an idiot because you learned something.
Yeah. I also feel like men do appreciate, because then they can be like, oh, I'm the coach here. I'm going to teach her how to do this or what this is. Like, great, feel better about yourself. Like, I also learned something out of this.
Whatever makes you sleep peaceful at night, honey. If that's
just as long as I'm learning something, it's all cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Totally. Wow. Really appreciate you doing this.
Oh, of course. Anytime. Like, any questions, I'm happy to answer as many as you have.
Thank you.